I've just played the equivalent of all the black notes on a keyboard. You know, I was fascinated with the black notes on a keyboard because my late mother played piano since the age of 6 until she passed away at age 85. And I suppose because of the dimming light in winter, she'd sit there and sight read, and her hands would contort when she hit those black keys. And I suppose it used to fascinate me because it was different. If you don't know, all the white notes on a keyboard are the notes of C major. So if you were playing in the key of C and you hit all the white keys, you would never play a wrong note. All 7 of them, and a piano has 7 octaves. So they repeat, the same 7 notes repeat. And then there's 5 black notes sitting up there. You know what I mean? Those are referred to as the sharps and the flats. So when I play F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, C sharp, and D sharp, those represents the 5 black notes that also repeat themselves on a standard piano's keyboard, or 7 times, 7 octaves. Now on a guitar you have 2 horizontal octaves in one position, and you have 5 positions in one octave vertically. And then on a guitar you can start going into the next 2 registrars. So 1, 2, and then 3 and 4, and even up to 5 on a 24 fret guitar. Okay, 5 octaves. Now, I'll play you an F sharp major chord at the 14th fret, and I'll go down 3 frets and play an E flat minor chord. Sounds like C, so. Now if I played you F sharp major pentatonic notes, lends itself to transient music, and this is where I got this concept. Because I heard this gentleman who's referred to as a modern jazz player, and he's very good. And because I taught myself by ear at age 14, I could quickly identify he was playing an E flat minor chord, and he went something like your imagination. Obviously he goes on to shred beautifully. Then I looked, it caught my ear because it's not in a traditional rock and roll chord. It's got that mystique sound, and just by changing key center from an E to an E flat, it sort of affects the brain. And to expand your knowledge of the fretboard and your ability on the guitar, because we're all used to the A, the E's, the D's, and the C, rock and roll sort of chords, if you know what I mean. But when we start playing out of chords like F sharp major, here's the same major pentatonic. You can see why I need to practice, and so do you. But what if I told you I'm also playing notes of E flat minor pentatonic, but because I'm starting on the second available note, E flat to F sharp here, I'm playing the second position of E flat minor. Here's E flat minor position 1 up here at the 11th fret, position 2. Make sense now? I'm just doing it down here at the second rate. On this point, get used to using these 3 fingers. Now watch this USA super shredder, but he was doing it up here above the 12th fret, and I noticed just from visual reference the last few months how he uses those 3 fingers to amazing ability when he absolute super shredder with amazing technical ability. So you want to get used to it. So the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm training my brain. A lot of people talk about muscle memory, because this feeling of E flat minor pentatonic is very different to this feeling, which is position 1. So position 2 is a very different feeling. You can see I have to concentrate. I'm not sitting that comfortable, but I'm training my brain where those 5 notes are. As I said, they actually represent the 5 black notes on a piano's keyboard, standard piano's keyboard, on a guitar in standard tuning. And I haven't been doing it that long, but I'm getting it. But it will take you outside your comfort zone. And I don't know if I mentioned, but when you count it down 3 frets, so from a major pentatonic to a minor pentatonic, the major chord, then to a minor chord 3 frets below, and you can do that out of any key center. So C to A, in other words, to A minor. I've chosen F sharp to E flat. The E flat minor is known as the relative minor because the 7 notes that make up that minor chord are identical to the 7 notes that make up that F sharp major. That's the major key center. That's the relative minor chord, C to A flat. The notes are identical. Here you start C, D, E, F, G. Here you start A, B, C, D, F, G. You're playing the 6th mode of the C major scale, but that's for another lesson. You can play each major scale and minor scale for that matter in 7 different modes. In other words, each successive note forms the starting point. So I've got lessons on all this stuff. Modes, intervals, get to know the fretboard. I've got hundreds of videos. In fact, I've got 1,600. Many of them me jamming, and many of them, if I'm sitting down like with a guitar horizontal like this, or in my study, normally with an acoustic guitar, you know I'm giving you a lesson. There's a lot of valuable information in these, so don't just flick forward. There's times when I tell you to sit with a pen and paper because I'm giving you some serious information. Did you know that's an arpeggio for E minor, for example? E, B, and G. Did you know that this is A minor, played on 1 string? A, C, E. There's E minor, E, G, and B. Here's D major. But how did I know that so quickly? Well, the notes of D major are D, F sharp, and A. That's position 1. But when I start with F sharp, I'm playing position 2. But still D major in its second inversion. Not position, second inversion as it's referred to. F sharp, A, and D. How did I know that at the 22nd fret, 22 fret guitar, this Telecaster? Well, if it had 24 frets, I would be playing E again, wouldn't I? Think about it. Because it comes in handy. It's an A. That's an F. Because we know that's a G string. Hopefully it helps you navigate when you're playing up here. I find quite a lot of guitarists, they get up here and they don't know what's going on. And take the time to realize that that first dot is 15, the second one is 17, and the third one is 19, and the fourth one is 21. Because I can assure you, it was not that long ago, even though I can play quite reasonably proficiently, that I had to sit and say, oh yeah, that's 17. Just spend the time and get your brain engaged. Yes, I know you can do it, because so could I. I'm playing since the age of 14. I was well into my 60s before I could confidently tell you that that's a C sharp. That at the 21st fret. Think about it. Do you really know the fretboard? Take the time to sit down. You know, when I got the first hint, was admittedly about 6 years ago, but I put my finger down there. And I could not for the love of me tell you, the second fret of the A string, I could not tell you at random that it was a B note. that morning I got a shock of my life because I was playing pretty proficiently and had a fair amount of online praise from doing covers at the time. Then I realized it was time for me to sit down and learn this fretboard, all 132 depressible notes on a 22 fret guitar. Now, how did I know that? Well, I know that there's 6 strings and there's that one there just before the double dots is 11. So my grandson of 6 years old told me last year, 6 times 11 is 66. So I said to him, yeah, but this is 22 fret guitar. You know what he told me? Therefore, there's 132 depressible notes. He knew it because he said 11 times 6 is 66, and 66 and 66 132. 6-year-old, grade 1 at school. And he's just a regular fella. Take the effort that wherever you put your finger down, I've seen videos by professionals where they tell you, oh, it's a lot of learning, but you got to do it. But let me tell you, it is not as much learning as you think. But just sit down and be honest with yourself. You don't have to do it in front of your friends and embarrass yourself. If you put your finger down at the 6th fret on the A string, I know it's an E flat. I can put my finger anywhere here. I can put my finger in several positions simultaneously. And I like that. Late Alan Holsworth used that. And I teach you about intervals on my channel, and I teach you how to name chords like that. See, I do know a little bit about what I'm doing now. Whether I do it perfectly is another issue. But you go, I've got lessons on all this stuff. And did I tell you earlier that's an A minor? Because I played ACE triad on 1 string. So I've got lessons on how to play a chord on 1 string, etc. And arpeggios. A major. The 5-string version of A minor. A 7th A minor 7th arpeggio. Just teaching you to do new things with your hands. So we've been through the sharps and flats, and we've been through a few other things. Anything to get you to study this fretboard, start creating new music. Put in a few passing tones there. But you'll know what to do when you've got some backing music. At least you'll start knowing what you're doing. Now, thanks for subscribing. I just watched a channel an hour ago on a fella. He's very good, shredder. And he's thanking people for subscribing to his channel because he's approaching 100,000 subscriptions. Well, I've got 640 as at this morning. But remember that only 15, 16 months ago, I only had 6. And I'd been on YouTube for 6 years at that point. So now after 7 years and 5 months, I've got 640. Because you've started to take an interest in what I'm doing. Or if you haven't, then please do show me your appreciation. Because I know I have a few people who appreciate what I'm doing, and I'm certainly by no means perfect, but I'm trying my best. Because before I go, I want to help you, because I want to share the love and the joy that this instrument has brought to me. Thanks again for viewing. I'll catch you later.